Hey, this is Matthew, and welcome back to Nerd News Today, and it is time for another statue review and unboxing. And today we have the Man of Steel, but is this the definitive Man of Steel statue for you? Well, let's take a closer look. Today from Diamond Select we have as part of their DC Gallery diorama pieces, Superman Ascendant. Now Diamond has done plenty of Superman pieces before, but I think this is going to be probably one of the last pieces that they ever do, because it would appear that Diamond is more or less done with DC for the time being. They haven't really announced anything new with the franchise, so it looks like they are doing their own thing these days. So with the potential for this being the final piece that Diamond does of Superman for who knows how long, this could be the one to get. But there's only one way to find out about that, so let's just take a deep dive into this bad boy. So first things first, let's talk about this box here. It is the traditional Diamond box, and it's your normal Superman box. It's got the colors, the blue, it's got the red belt along with the Superman logo. We have a nice big window on the front here, as well as two windows on each of the sides, so you could get a nice peek into him. And of course, the Diamond Select sunroof. The back of the box has a nice bio about Superman, just telling you who he is. And for the most part, I think everybody now knows who Superman is, so they're not really spending a ton of detail going into it, or really contextualizing when this piece is meant to be from. It just kind of tells you who Superman is. It also lets us know this piece was designed and sculpted by Alderton. So if you watched our Nerd News Today Toy Fair 2021 extravaganza, you may have seen our panel we did with Caesar and Alderton all about how they sculpt and design statues, particularly for Diamond Select. And in that discussion, we talked about this Superman Ascendant piece, because this was a dream piece for Alderton to design and make. So he went really in depth on that, and if you want to watch that, make sure to check out that video at that link above. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped for this one just because of how hyped Alderton was for it. So let's go ahead and get this Superman out of the box and take a closer look at him from all angles. And here is our Superman Ascendant statue now out of the box. Let's take a closer look at this. So the immediate thing that's impossible not to notice is the stance of this figure here. You know, normally we'll talk about the likeness first for these statue reviews, but this one, you know, it's all about the pose, really. And this statue is meant to look larger than life. Everything about it is meant to look very imposing, very dominant, very superior. So let's just take a look at all those elements within this stance here, why it works, and why I like it so much. And a big part of that is actually also related to the base here. So the whole idea is that Superman is not standing on the ground. He is up in the clouds somewhere, most likely, because that looks like clouds to me. But no matter what it's intended to be, even if he's on the ground and this is just smoke around him, he's not standing. He's floating in the air. So whether he's 100 feet in the air or just a few feet off the ground, it doesn't matter. All that matters is he's still higher than the subject matter. So why is it so important that he's not on the ground? And you know, this is now a part where we get into the face and the likeness, is that his eyes actually are looking straight ahead. He's not looking down, he's looking straight ahead. So whatever he's doing here, he is looking at something of an equal, perhaps. Something or someone, I should say. His arms are crossed, his chest is puffed forward. This is a Superman who is not backing down from whatever challenge is facing him. And even on that note of the face too, it's not like this is a smug face. This is very much a face of business here. So this is some serious business, but whatever it is, it doesn't matter because it's Superman, and Superman knows he's Superman. He's going to be able to handle whatever it is. So there's definitely this kind of feeling that no matter what the problem is going to be here, he's got it covered. And I think this is kind of interesting for Superman also, because this is not like necessarily an action-packed pose, but this is one that really says a lot about the character of who he is. And also, you know, it does put him in kind of a combat situation, I think, too. You know, this isn't like him bending some steel or shooting lasers out of his eyes. This is him about to confront something that's very serious, with the notion that Superman's here to save the day, because, well, that's what he does. So let's spend a little bit more time now on that likeness, in fact, because I think this is a brilliant-looking Superman face here. I mean, I love the little curl of hair in the front, because you got to have that curl for Superman's hair. It's just like a thing you have to do if you're making Superman. He's furrowing his brow a little bit, which is really nice. And he's got the cleft chin, of course, because Superman's got to have that. You know, the facial structure especially, it's very strong. You know, modern Supermans always have kind of like an element of Christopher Reeve in them. And, you know, it's kind of hard to ever ignore the influence that he's had on the character of Superman. But really just looking at this face here, this is like your everyday strongman kind of face. This is the face you think of when you think of superhero. Very square jaw, very rigid cheek structure. Not a Neanderthal brow, but there is a brow of seriousness here. It's the look of a guy who's seen combat, who's been in fights, and he's always come out on top because, well, his nose ain't broke, that's for sure. Like when you think Man of Steel, you think of a steely looking person, and this is that look. And to me also, Superman's always kind of had that ring of like the old-fashioned 1940s, 1950s kind of Humphrey Bogart look, like that kind of leading man era where you're looking at that type of archetype of a person. And I think this really captures that sense of that type of person, because at the end of the day too, Superman has defined what the superhero is in modern times, and a lot of that came down to what was the machismo look of leading men in Hollywood at the time. So, you know, we still have that look here, and it continues to work to this day. And of course, you got to have the muscles to go with that face, and man, these muscles are just on point here. You know, this is Alderton's love letter to Superman, and he left no stone unturned when it came to his anatomy here. So, like, every muscle is rippling, every muscle is tight and shown. I mean, I love his quads here, too. Like, everything going on here. The arms are especially, too, really great looking. And his abs, too. I mean, this is a guy here who's eaten a lot of salmon and a lot of chicken breast and staying away from that pasta. I just love how rippling the muscles are and just very real. And, you know, I say real, it's kind of hard to say real here because this is not what every single person out there looks like. But it's very much more so, I guess, a realistic, idealized person. You know, like if you ever were to pick up an anatomy book or something, this is the kind of guy you're going to see here. Real big dude. But not like, you know, a Ronnie Coleman ginormous bodybuilder or one of those strongmen. This is a Superman. That's kind of the best way to put it, really, for lack of a better word here. But yeah, muscles are beautiful looking, really great, on point. And I can't believe I've gone this long without discussing the cape, which I'm going to start actually just while we're looking at it from the front, a little bit of a side angle too. Just look at how nice you're already seeing all these great curves to go with the statue here. But let's just turn it around and look at this flowing, gorgeous cape. I love how the S is kind of just mingling within these different folds here and it's kind of doing whatever it wants, and it's swooping down across the character here. Real beautiful piece of work there. You can really sense the movement in this. And that's very important too, because this is a character that is, after all, hovering and not standing on something. He's not putting his legs anywhere. He's just up in the air. So there's that notion of kind of etherealness too with that, because, you know, he's not on the ground. He's not interacting with the environment. He's above the environment. And that comes back to that superiority that I'm looking at with this piece here. So it's a very vertically oriented piece too, and it really helps to have this swoop here kind of like tie it together and add that weightlessness to it. While I gotta say his muscles kind of help keep it grounded and keep it very, I don't want to use the word meaty, but you know, keeps him very heavy looking, despite the fact that he's got really no weight to him at all at this moment. So really cool kind of contrast of ideas here, contrast of different elements that work together so well because it's Superman. You can do so many different things with Superman. And you know, we talked to Alderton, like I said earlier, in that video at our Toy Fair event. And make sure you do check out that video if you want to learn a lot more about how this piece was put together. But for him, this really was like his piece to work on, and this is his favorite character of all time. So he put everything into this one. And you can definitely sense there's a lot of reverence to the character when you look at this piece. As far as paint jobs go too, gotta say, very clean paint job across the board. I think the face too, very strong because it's not overly painted. That's been an issue I've had with a lot of diamond statues. I think a lot of people who collect these things know a lot of times they can kind of glob on the paint sometimes, but this has been kept very clean, very smooth face, so you're not losing any detail. That's very important to getting a good likeness. Same thing with the hair too. They kept the hair super simple. I don't think there's much, if at all, any toning in there. Let's see. No, it's just one solid color, and that's fine because it's a very reflective color, and Superman has that kind of black hair, so that works fine for me. But yeah, really no slop anywhere, no mishaps. It's a pretty good looking piece in terms of that part of it, and hopefully when you get your piece, it'll look just as good as mine here too. And this is one of those pieces too that I think would look really great if you were able to bottom light it and have the clouds kind of looking a little illuminated. I think that would look so awesome. So yeah, folks, if you're looking for like a real iconic Superman piece that's just kind of like a classic standalone, this is the one to get. And it also kind of leaves a lot to the imagination too, which I also enjoy about this because we don't really know exactly what he's doing here, but you know, the fact that you can kind of make your own story with it, I think that adds a lot to the piece, a lot of elements of mystery to it, but you do know at the end of the day, it's Superman, he's gonna kick your butt. So a real standout piece. You know, I don't think I've ever looked at a Superman piece on this channel before. I don't think I've even reviewed a single piece of Superman merchandise before, just because I haven't really been too into the character as much, you could say, but other characters speak to me more so maybe. But this, I think, is the iconic Superman piece for me. I personally don't think I need to get anything else Superman. So if you kind of want the same thing that I do, which is just that one signature look for the character, this Diamond Select piece is for you. So that is our look at, well, as I just mentioned, Diamond Select's PVC figure diorama statue of Superman Ascendant. Great job, Diamond, and amazing job, Alderton. If you guys want to pick this one up for yourself, there's going to be links in the description below, so make sure you click on that to help support this channel at no extra cost to you. So until next time, I'm Matthew. This has been Nerd News Today. Thanks for watching, and up, and away.